Hi Charlotte, tonight you are focusing in on the Winter Olympics and a series of false claims targeting Ukrainian athletes. Tell us more.
That's right, Sharon. Ukrainian athletes and visitors at this year's Winter Olympics have been hit by a string of false accusations that have been widely circulating on social media. The American fact-checking organisation NewsGuard has identified 28 fake reports targeting the Ukrainian delegation released between the 30th of January and the 10th of February. Collectively, they've garnered some 2 million views and include false claims that Ukrainians are looting shops on the sidelines of the Games, that they're vandalising the Colosseum, and they are spitting in athletes' food. Now, one video purporting to be from the Canadian broadcaster CBC alleged that Ukrainian athletes are housed separately from other competitors due to antisocial behaviour at the 2024 Paris Olympics. So let's take a look at that video in question.
Milan, not a particularly big village. It's normally bigger at the Summer Olympics, but it's especially small this time because there are so many villages. There are like 6 places scattered throughout the Milano Cortina area where athletes are staying. Here in Italy, all the mistakes made in France have been taken into account. Specifically, the Ukrainian team's accommodation has been placed as far away as possible from others participating in the Olympics. And it was done on purpose. It was a correction of the mistakes that had been made in Paris. In Paris, the Ukrainian team proved to be extremely toxic, provoking.
Now, the claims made about Ukrainian athletes in that video are false. Social media postings from athletes at the Games do in fact show that the Ukrainian competitors are housed in one of the main residential blocks near the Spanish team. The International Olympic Committee has also denied any suggestion that Ukrainian delegation behaved aggressively during the Paris Games. Now, what is more, Sharon, is that there are no such reports from legitimate news outlets that of such incidents, including CBC, which did not, in fact, release the video that we just looked at.
So, Charlotte, if this video isn't from that outlet, who exactly is behind it? Do we know?
Well, Sharon, what is particularly deceptive about that video we just watched is that it does actually begin with the first few seconds of a genuine CBC news report about the Olympic Village. If we do a reverse image search, it takes us to that original report published on CBC's official YouTube account. But if you watch the full version that I've got here, there is no mention of those accusations against the Ukrainian athletes. Instead, the second half of the fake video here overlays stock footage with an AI-generated version of the journalist's voice. Now, this tactic, impersonating established media outlets to spread fabricated content, is consistent with a Russian disinformation campaign known as Operation Matryoshka, which we've covered here before on Truth or Fake. Now, CBC is far from being the only outlet that is being impersonated by this disinformation operation. So Reuters, Euronews, and us here at France 24, we've also been targeted.
And finally, Charlotte, tell us a little bit more about the operation's actual goals and how we're able to spot these kind of false reports.
Of course. So according to a report by France's digital interference watchdog, this operation has been active since late 2023. It has some other names, but we will go with Matrioska for now. As I mentioned, it impersonates media outlets and distributes false content under their branding. Its objectives, according to that report, are to sow division, promote pro-Russian narratives and discredit Ukraine, as well as undermine policies and political figures who show support for Kyiv. This report adds that France is a particular target because of strong public support for Ukraine. And back in 2024, the report also notes that the very same network spread a series of false claims about the Paris Olympics. So how can you spot this kind of disinformation? Well, as I mentioned earlier, you can perform a reverse image search. That often leads you to the original source material, and you can see whether or not the footage has been altered. Another way is by double-checking website domain names. And this is because disinformation campaigns such as Operation Matryoshka often create addresses that closely resemble legitimate media outlets, but there are slight alterations. So here are some examples that I found in the report by France's digital interference watchdog. A full list is available in that report, which I will link on the Truth or Fake website.
Charlotte, thanks so much for taking us through all of that. That's Charlotte Hughes there with tonight's Truth or Fake. Do stay with us. We'll be right back with more world news.